Hello guys, my name is Richmond and I welcome you back to another video from the Arithmetic channel. Since I started this structured programming course here on this channel, I have tried my best to arrange all the sessions in order to broaden your scope of understanding. So I would encourage each and everyone to follow suit so that you understand the course better, okay? Today we'll be discussing something which is really important in programming, something you can't do away with, which is operators, okay? And we'll be discussing the types and what goes into the types too as well. Before we get to that video, if you are new to this channel, I would encourage you to subscribe and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when I release any new video. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay guys, so in this tutorial, the first thing I would like you to know is what operators are. Okay, and operators are basically symbols that tells the compiler to perform a specific mathematical or logical manipulations. Okay, so these operators are symbols that represent a mathematical or a logical manipulation. And when we talk about a mathematical manipulation, it's just the process of computing math facts, okay, which we all know that. And the logics are laws of thoughts or correct reasoning. And most of the times, these are the things that hold our code, okay? These are the things that bring the meaning out of our code. So we need to take note of them. There are four main types of operators we'll be talking about, okay? The first one is arithmetic operators, the second one is relational, the third is unary, and then the last one is the logical operators, okay? So we'll be talking more about these operators. Another thing you need to know about operators is that they are usually found between two operands, except when they are unary, okay? An operand is any object such as constant, variable, string, or a function. Okay, so to explain that, let me give an example. Okay, for instance, if you have a plus b, the a and b are going to be the operands, okay, and then the plus symbol is going to be the operator. Okay, and what we realize here is that the plus symbol is in between the two operands. Okay, so that's what this actually means. Okay, and we are going to understand this more better as time goes on when we make use of them. Moving on, we are going to talk about the first type of operators, okay, which is the mathematical or logical operators. And also generally, these are the mathematical or arithmetic operators we have. The first one is the plus symbol, which is for addition. The second one is the minus symbol, which is for subtraction. The third one is the star symbol, which is for multiplication. The next one is the forward slash symbol, which is for division. And then the last one is the percentage symbol, which is for modulus, operations. Okay, so these are all the mathematical operators we'll be learning so far as programming is concerned. Okay, I mean structured programming is concerned. And whenever we want to make any mathematical manipulation, or if you want to compute any math facts, these are the operators we are going to make use of. Okay, so when you want to add two things, you use the addition or plus symbol. When you want to subtract, you use the minus symbol. When you want to multiply, you use the star symbol. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so still under the arithmetic operators, I want us to also discuss the precedence rules of arithmetic operators. And this is something really key when the arithmetic operators comes into play. Okay, so you have to take note of these rules and follow them whenever you want a specific outcome out of your expression. You have to understand these rules, okay, so that you get the correct answer you want from your code. Okay, The first rule is that expressions in brackets are evaluated first, starting with inner brackets if any. Okay, so when you have any expression in your code which contains an arithmetic operator which is going to compute for a particular math fact, okay, the ones in brackets are going to be computed first before any other. That is what this particular rule means. Okay, the next rule states that the multiplication symbol, the division symbol, and the modulo symbols are of the same highest order. Okay, they are of the same highest order. So in cases where you have any of these operators in your expression, they are going to be evaluated first before any other operator. So take note of that as well. The next rule we are going to talk about is that the plus and then the minus symbols are the next in order of precedence. So aside the operators I made mention in the previous rule, the plus and minus are the symbols or the operators with the next order of precedence. Okay, so after manipulating or after evaluating the expression or the operands that has the multiplication symbol, the division, and then the modulos, the next one you have to evaluate is the plus or the minus symbol if you have any. Okay, but there are cases where you don't have multiplication, modulos, or division operator. Okay, but then you have just the addition and the minus and other operators. In that case, the addition and then the minus symbol or operator becomes the one you have to evaluate first. Okay, so take note of that. The last one is the equal to operator, which I didn't state as part of the arithmetic operators initially, but then they also play a very important role when it comes to arithmetic operators. Okay, so the equal to symbol or the equal to sign is of the lowest precedence. Okay, so of all the other operators, the equal to symbol is the one of the lowest precedence. So that is the last thing you are going to look at when you are performing mathematical or arithmetic manipulations. Okay, so the next rule is that arithmetic operators of the same order are evaluated from left to right in any given expression. Okay, so let me explain this with an example. Okay, so if you have, let's say, the multiplication operator and also the division operator in one expression, or cases where you want to use them in one expression, what you are going to do is that since they are all of the same highest order, you are going to start evaluating from the left to the right. Okay, so for instance, if you have 1 times 2 divided by 3, okay, the first thing you are going to evaluate is the 1 times 2. Okay, then the outcome is going to be divided by the 3. Okay, so let's take note of that as well. Okay, so we are done with the mathematical or arithmetic operators. Okay, so let's move to the next type of operator we have, which is the relational or comparison operators. Okay, now the reason why it has another name to be comparison operators is because they are operators used to compare two operands. Okay, they are operators used to compare operands. So we have the equal to, we have the not equal to, we have the less than, we have the less than or equal to, we have greater than, and then we have greater than or equal to. So these are operators we all know that compare two operands. Okay, so whenever you have any of these operators in between any two operands, you should know that is going to compare them. Okay, and mostly in programming, the outcome of these operators, or mostly when we use these operators, the outcome is a Boolean type of data, okay, whether true or false. And we are going to understand that better when we go more into details. Okay. Note how the less than or equal to and the greater than or equal to are written, and they are symbols that actually, like, their arrangements don't change. Okay, so whenever you are programming, you don't need to interchange them. Okay, so it is written less than or equal to, or if you are using a greater than or equal to, you bring the greater than first, the greater than symbol, and then the equal to symbol next. The next operators we'll be talking about is the logical operators. These are used when relational tests are to be combined. Okay, generally the logical operators are the and, or, exclusive or, and the not. Okay, so these are operators that we are going to use when we want to perform any logical manipulation. Okay, this particular table explains how they work. Okay, so we have some situations here. Okay, now P and Q are the values we are using here, and then the situations for the first one, we have P to be true and then Q to be true. Okay, so we are going to see the outcomes when P and Q contains these values, okay, using the logical operators. So when P is true and then Q is true, when you use the AND operator, the outcome becomes true. Okay, so that is for the AND operator. And when you use the OR operator, the outcomes become true as well. When you use the exclusive OR, the outcome becomes false. And when you use the NOT, the outcome becomes false. Okay, the next situation is when P is true and then Q is false. Okay, when you use the AND operator, the outcome becomes false. When you use the OR operator, the outcome becomes true. When you use the exclusive OR, the outcome becomes true. And when you use the NOT, the outcome becomes false. The third situation is when the P is false and then the Q is true. When you use the AND operator, the outcome becomes false. When you use the OR operator, the outcome becomes true. When you use the exclusive OR operator, the outcomes also becomes true. And when you use the NOT, the outcome also becomes true. The last situation is when both of them are false, as in the P value is false and then the Q value is false. When you use the AND operator on this, the outcome becomes false. When you use the OR operator on this, the outcome becomes false. When you use the exclusive OR, the outcome becomes false. And when you use the NOT, the outcome becomes true. So basically, these are the outcomes when you have two operands such as P and Q, and they are of the various situations as in whether true or false. I would take my time and get a tutorial on this separately so that I can explain more about the logical operators for you to get the understanding better. Moving on, we are going to talk about the unary operators. Okay, these operators are used to precede an operand. Okay, and then we've learned that the operand can be a string, a constant, a variable, or a function. Okay, so an operand can be any of these things. Okay, and these operators are used to precede them. Okay, and why do we precede these operands with these operators? Okay, so for instance, if you want to read a particular operand as a negative value, okay, or if you want to read it in negative, you use the negative operator under the unary operators. Okay, and if you want to also make it positive, okay, you use the plus, which has actually no effect, so you can just leave it as it is to keep it in its positive state. Okay, so those are the the unary operators we have. So basically we spoke about all the operators we have, and we are ending today on the operators. In our next tutorial, we'll be talking about control structures, where we would talk about sequence, decision making, and looping. Stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would encourage you to do so, and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when that particular video is released. Thank you and stay blessed.